we should be good to go. Let's put that down. Welcome, folks. Welcome. Today we're doing a Harad concept, and of course you'll see it in front of you. It's already been started. So actually, something I found when I did that last concept I did with the Ered Mithrin veterans was that it was hard to concentrate on both, the live stream and the chat and have that interaction, and put all my creative focus into the concept. So this time I've sort of done the base, and we're going to be doing this middle figure here, and already people saying, yeah, hello AVO and Fingus McNivelson, welcome. Yeah, Dodgy Kingdom, hello, how are you? I'm very good, thank you. How are you? How are all of you doing? I might wait just a couple of minutes for some more people to join. But yeah, like I was saying, we're going to be doing this middle figure. And yes, I'm choosing to start the concept before the camera's rolling. Just for the reason that, I get in a complete muddle when I'm trying to work out the creative stuff. I sort of neglect the chat and the other way around. So we've got the base, and yeah, sorry, I should have said that this is Harad's tier 3. We're going to be doing. So these are we don't see these guys in the film. This guy on the is that the left? That's really embarrassing if I don't know. That's the right, isn't it? God, this guy on the right is a tier 2 guy. It's from my old concept. Oh, that's messy. This is the one of my other concepts for Harad. So that's a tier 2 concept. But I'm just having him here as comparison for color reference and stuff. But so he is the guys we see in the film. He's the guys on the Mumokil. So basically the goal is to make a more dedicated force, dedicated sort of fighters. But keeping that same style. So it's basically having to work out this style of the Harad and get familiar with it, and make them look more elite. Same goes for when I designed the lower tiers. We don't see anyone with any worse armor than this, so we're going to have to do the opposite there and make them look even shittier. These guys are already in pretty poor shape, so... And already the chat has been neglected. Welcome everyone. Andrew Gardner, Doggyman Lol, Chris131, Matt Grove. Welcome to all of you. Monodic Media saying, will these units be in the next mod update? The next mod update will please the Dwarven fans. So, no, these guys are... At the moment, we don't have a modeler for Harad. Not modeler for concept. Modeler for Harad. We don't have a modeler. So at the moment, I'm just doing the concepts just because I enjoy them. And Massey Ferguson, hello. We did have someone come in, but they decided to pull out. It was a bit too much for them. Couldn't handle the rise of Mordor power. Anyway, let's crack on. We've got 25 of you, 26 of you. And how's the sound sounding? How's the sound sounding? Because I've rigged up my microphone on a music stand next to me. It's not on my table anymore. So, and Luncasu Flores and Mesaros. Oh, I've butchered the name already. Mesaros Sabolks. Welcome to the stream. Apologies in advance for any of the names I screw up. I'm not adept at that kind of thing. But yeah, let's crack on. So as you can see, I've already got the base. And I'll just quickly go over to the new people that have joined. We're doing a Harad tier 3 concept. And okay, good. The volume's a bit low. Monodic Media says. I'll move it ever so slightly closer. You can always turn up your own volume, remember, of course. But hopefully that's sounding okay now. But let's crack on. So I've got a sketch down underneath here. The head. I accidentally... You need to be careful with layers because I started drawing on that layer. Drawing the actual concept. And of course, you don't want to draw on top of this on the same layer. So but I'm terrible with layers, so it all got a bit messy. So I just had to get rid of the head there. As you can see, I've sort of gone with a. If we look at our reference, I've had it all open here. Harad is big on these sort of wicker, sort of this woven wicker kind of thing, and it's often sort of a one-piece cuirass. So I'm trying to keep that for the tier 3 as well, but they have sort of more bronze on top of that. These guys do have some. You can see that these guys have sort of little wrist pieces here, and obviously the big hand things, which are really cool. But they're nothing more than that. They're poorly armoured, to say the least. They've also got the bone thing. I'm trying to increase the amount of bones I have on this design, because I think these guys would still have bone application, like this little collar here. And you'll know, yeah, this guy in front of me, I'm pointing at my screen. You can't see me pointing at the screen. The guy that's more completed here, he's on the thumbnail, I think. So I've done that already. So that's gives you a kind of idea of what they're going to end up looking like. Do let me know your feedback, of course, because obviously this is not something we see in the movies. This is, something I'm having to make up, but it's not something I'm making up from my imagination. I'm sort of having to work in a style. There's sort of really clear. There's already an established aesthetic. That's what I'm trying to say. Which is arguably harder. Having to sort of work to Weta's existing Harad aesthetic is, I'd say it's harder to get that really accurate, relatable concept. I still haven't started, have I? Let's just get on with it. As I was saying, on this sketch you can see that there's sort of a load of smaller plates. It's not just one big thing, because that doesn't fit the style very well, I'd say. So it's sort of a lamellar kind of. I usually am okay with armor terms, but I'm not very familiar at all with sort of early. What's the term? It's sort of the Greek and the Roman stuff, and I'm not familiar with Middle Eastern armor, I'm afraid. So if I refer to them as sort of medieval terms, do forgive me. And the chat, apologies, I've neglected the chat yet again. It reminds John Carlson. It reminds you of older Greek armor. Yes, I think so. I'm not actually entirely familiar with historical Greek armor. Everyone knows the fantasy stuff, but I'm not. Yeah, older Carthage armor. Yeah, I think they're quite similar to that. They're inspired by a sort of Persian, Middle Eastern aesthetic. Akamai TBL, a very long and then hello, thank you, welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone else. Enrique. Antiquity, not medieval. Yes, indeed. Anyway, yes, so let's draw out those little plates. So this stuff underneath is wicker. So these plates are woven onto wicker. And let's put some bones, actually. They might as well. Do bear with me a moment. Oh, no, nothing to worry about. Right, so we've sort of got three. I don't know why they wear that. I don't know how that would help the armor or anything, but let's just put that in because that makes them look similar to the established look. And let's draw in the plates. Oh, we've done it wrong, haven't we? That's not what the sketch has. The sketch has a row of 3, yeah. Let's get rid of all of them. What am I doing? Undo. Just draw over them. It's a beautiful thing, the undo's for. Let's draw the plates first. Okay, so so as you can probably tell, I am going quiet at times, and I'm neglecting the chat a little bit. Although no one said anything since the last thing, so no worries about that. But this concept, I mean, if you've turned up to my unit cards streams, you'll know that they're a lot less stressful, and they don't need as much attention. Apparently they do, actually, because the last unit card stream was all over the place. But yeah, this one is a lot. I mean, at this beginning stage, it's not actually, but when it gets into the detail, it becomes a lot more attention requiring, if that makes sense. And Harry Thorpe, hey, great concepts. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by. Fingus McNippleson, can't wait for Harad to be in the game. Nor can I. They look really cool. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, unfortunately we don't have a modeler at the moment. Also, I should address that the observant among you, those of you who are familiar with our Trello page, which if you're not, you can find down below. That's where you'll see all our, planned unit rosters and stuff. You'll know that Harad has concepts, and I'm redoing them. Not because they're bad, but because they I was explaining it earlier in the stream that it's a we don't see much of Harad in the films, and to design the rest of the units, we sort of have to use our creative license, but following that established style. And we felt that those concepts just didn't quite, capture that, which is a shame because they're really good. They're really good concepts by a guy called Luke Martins. Do check him out on his social media actually, because that's good stuff on there. I think Luke Martins Art is his Instagram account. I should at least shout him out for redoing all his work. While on the topic of Instagram, you can find my art Instagram in the description below too, along with all of our Rise of Mordor social media. Our Discord is where we do all our interaction with you, and we post all our previews. And there's our ModDB and all that other stuff there, Reddit. And our Trello board, like I mentioned. And the chat again, Lee Dowdy. The art looks awesome. Hello. Hello to you too. Thank you very much. Thank you for stopping by. And Git Van... I remember you from last stream. We agreed on just calling you Git. Hello to you. Hello to you. And unfortunately, no, this isn't Khazad-dûm. This is Harad. Antonio. Hi guys, thanks for your work. You're very welcome. You're more than welcome. It's people like you, Antonio, that keep us going. And Taiki ZA. Good evening, guys. Good evening to you too, Taiki. Taiki is a YouTuber, so do check out his channel as well for some more Rise of Mordor content. And a name, unfortunately, I'm not even familiar with the language, actually. Great stuff. How do you tell the Canon accurate images on the internet? So, by Canon accurate, is that the book or is that the film? Because in the book, there's some quite clear descriptions of the Haradrim, and they're fairly similar actually. They use bronze plates like this. They have red. They do have sort of war paint and stuff. That's going to be something that we're going to feature on some of the other Harad units. I should explain the planned roster. I mean, how the sort of rostering is going to work with Harad. So you don't have to wait for the Harad faction overview to find out. It's just what I know, just off the top of my head. Canon is book, I believe. Yeah, so the book version is actually, you know what? this guy here this is completely unrelated. Sorry, this is for you lore folks out there. This is for the YouTuber Lore of the Rings. I've worked with him on his YouTube channel doing these sort of portraits and illustrations for his videos. Do check out Lore of the Rings. It's a shout out stream, isn't it? Do check out Lore of the Rings for all sort of like all the battles of Middle Earth shown visually. But this is a Haradrim warrior, lore accurate. They are darker skinned than the guys in the film. They have earrings and war paint, bright red, and these bronze plates and this bronze collar. So, you know, these guys are fairly similar. I wouldn't be too... I mean, if that was part of the Harad roster, I wouldn't even... I'd feel they're the same kind of thing. So yeah, the films did a great job on that, in my opinion. Taiki ZA, I'm so happy that the evil factions are getting some love. It's about time, isn't it? We've had... Well, it was the dwarves that were not getting enough love before, but now, obviously, our hero Frusty has burst onto the scene. And it's now the poor evil factions. Although, you know, Mega Blue Iron's doing his Mordor streams. So, yeah, I mean, so do have a look at the rest of our channel. You can see, like I said, Frusty is our Dwarven modeler. He does Dwarven streams, and he modelled Erebor in a single weekend. The guy's a machine, as you all know, I'm sure. And Mega Blue Iron, like I said, is redoing the Mordor Tier 3 Uruks. And again, just more shout-outs. Do check out those streams. If any of you have anything to shout out, do let me know, because obviously this, you know, fate wills it that this is a stream of shout-outs. Gonzalo Benedicto. Hello everyone. Well, thank you for stopping by on the stream. That means a lot to us. Hello to you too. Enrique, I used to think Harad and the Eastlings was the same faction when I watched the movies for the first time. Yeah. Well, you know, a fun fact for you actually. There's a few times where the the wardrobe department got a bit lazy. Sorry, something in my throat there. Sorry. The wardrobe department got a little bit lazy, and you can see in the ambush scene in the second film, in the Two Towers, where Faramir ambushes the Muma as they're passing through Ithilien, there's some runic armour worn by the Haradrim. Not the helmets, but they have a sort of that spiky chest piece and the shoulders and stuff, which is, you know, that's obviously a lazy choice on the department, the costume department. But it's something you notice. It's which could explain things. Then again, I saw a picture the other day of the Battle of the Black Gate, when all the Rohan and Gondor are standing on the hill. Behind them, they obviously ran out of spears, because you can clearly see a load of Easterling halberd things that they have, which is another bottles by the feet from Game of Thrones moment, but not as noticeable, of course. And the chat's missed the chat again. Taiki ZA, dwarves have more than enough love in the last few streams. They certainly have. I am currently working on the final dwarven concept. Let me show you that. Another sneak peek. This is my current working for the what they call mansion reclaimers. So these are the mithril clad monsters that you'll get from retaking Moria in the campaign. And it's a collaborative concept, so our other concept artist, Edrad, is going to be working on the shields and the sword, the axe, I believe, and the belt for these guys. There you go, quick preview for you faithful stream followers. Antonio, at what point is the modification of the Middle Earth map for the campaign? So the campaign is in full progress at the moment. Unfortunately, Leo is going to stream tonight, but I didn't give him enough notice. So unfortunately, you've missed out on a campaign stream, but he might do it later in the week. You never know. What were you saying? And the chat's going wild with Baruch Kazads. I've seen that, but what concept? Question was answering? I'm very far behind on the chat. Apologies. I am going to read the chat. Don't you worry. All your questions will be answered. I just might take a while to get there. Anyone with a spanner next to their name is either a developer or a Discord moderator, so do look out for them answering your questions as well. But yes, so campaign, it's being worked on at the moment, and you can watch our campaign overviews. We've got Mordor and Gondor out on our channel at the moment. But yeah, so if you are not sure, there's two parts to the campaign map. One is the visual side, which is already doable, and one is the AI side, you know, letting them know where they can move and where they can't move, etc. And the custom tool for the AI side is being worked on as we speak, and as I said, Leo is going to do a visual side campaign stream today, but he didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't give enough notice on my stream before he before it was too late. Now, let me move on. Antonio, do check out our Discord in the link below, because there you'll find all people much more knowledgeable than myself will give you much more realistic answers. We're not giving a time though, just because, you know, giving time, release dates and stuff, if they're not met, it could be lead to disappointment and stuff like that. So, you know, give it a couple of years. And of course, we're not promising anything from that either, but just to be on the safe side, a couple of years. Nils Recoying. Are Mumak kills going to be possible in any way? Yes, they are. They will be in game. They're going to be worked on after Wugs. So at the moment it's Trolls with our animating department. I mean, Trolls, then Wugs, then Mumakil. Mumakil are, of course, like elephants, but they are much, much bigger. Mumakil are huge. You can see that in the films. And the person with the, unfortunately, I can't pronounce your name, read your name because it's in a foreign language, but okay, that's it. I'm sharing this to my 3 siblings. Big time Lord of the Rings fan. You deserve the likes. Well, thank you very much. That means really a lot to me. I really appreciate that. Really do. It's a you know, this Rise of Mordor is a passion project. You have to do it out of your own free will and your love for Lord of the Rings. So, you know, that kind of that enthusiasm from our audience is really special. Really indeed. Thank you. Meaty saying, what is a Faramir? Faramir is a brother of Boromir, if that's what you mean. And Git saying, oh, where's the chat gone? What's actually the difference between Easterlings and Haradrim? Well, the Haradrim come from Harad, which is Elvish for south, quite literally Elvish for south, and Rune is, I believe, quite literally Elvish for east. So Rune is located sort of above Mordor, sort of underneath, in between the Lonely Mountain in Erebor and Mordor. That's Rune, and Harad is south of Gondor and Mordor. Harry Thorpe, damn, look at them. Oh, thank you very much. Oh God, so Dane Ironfoot says Baruch Hazad. So that was all the way back when I was showing you the things, the Mansion Reclaimers. So I'm going to just rush through this, and I apologise, I haven't barely done anything on the concept either. I've just been chatting. Is there... Ooh, where are we? What are we... Apologies. Easy Man. Will there be units from Far Harad? Yes, there will. Mutants of Far Harad. And sort of the... we like to think that the if you look at our trailer, you'll see, but the what they call Muhad tribe is from Far Harad. Taiki ZA, oh wow, an actual dwarf in mithril armor. Yeah. Harry Thorpe, is there any faction that you'd love to eventually see more of that hasn't had as much focus just yet? Arnor. Arnor is my favourite, as many of you might know. I've done a few of the concepts for them, but nothing's been made in terms of assets and 3D stuff yet. So I'd love to see them in game. They're basically Gondor but better. I'm sure you can all agree on that. Meaty, is the campaign being worked on at the moment? Yes, it is. For the first time now, I believe Maestro was saying this, he's been with us for a very long time. He said, for the first time, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Mortimer Madison, saying, will hobbits be playable? There are going to be 2 playable hobbit units in game, one for the Reforged Realm of Arnor and one for the Anduin Vale. But the actual faction of the Shire, you know, Breeland and the Shire, to be honest, we're not sure. It might end up that they are a sort of passive, non-playable faction, you know, with a couple of units that just sort of sit there. Just because, you know, we're basing our mod in the Third Age during the War of the Ring, and the hobbits were notorious for just not having any connection whatsoever with the outside world. You know, once Lord of the Rings is over, when you get into sort of after Lord of the Rings territory, yeah, then they sort of started to mingle a bit more with people from outside, like Gondor and stuff. But before that, they just kept to themselves. By the way, these sort of, I'm not quite sure what the armor is called here, but this sort of weight, the plates that go there are called tassets, but I'm not sure what this bit here is. It's just a waist armor, I guess. Is going to be scale like that. I bear in mind that I did say I am familiar with armor terms, so that is very embarrassing for me. But what are you doing? What happened there? I have no idea what I'm just gonna cancel that. I wanted to. Oh, we got it, didn't we? Right. Making a fool of myself on stream. Avio. Whoa, hang on. So the chat is far ahead of me at the moment. Avio, are you going to do some concept art for Gundabad? We have another artist doing Gundabad, but I haven't seen anything from them recently. But I'll check in with them actually. Meaty saying, do you guys have a Discord? Yes, it's linked below. Top link in the description. Have a look. You'll see all our sort of previews and all our interaction with you, other than streams, is on over there, and you know, announcements and stuff like that. Git saying, how many dwarven units have to be done yet? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not that many. Rest assured. Sirac Yilmaz, hello. And Easy Man, make a Patreon for each streamer. We will sponsor you, not the mod. We don't want to risk it. I mean, as nice as that would be, we just, you know, as soon as you have any sort of money that's traceable back to Rise of Mordor, it's just not. Because, you know, we'd be doing official. We'd be streaming from our official channel, so you'd be donating for Rise of Mordor. You can't get away from the fact that we're still working for Rise of Mordor, and you're fans of Rise of Mordor, and you're donating for Rise of Mordor. And that's just yucky territory. There's quite serious legal implications if we get, you know, found out about that kind of stuff. So we want to stay far away from that, I'm afraid. Your support and your love is the best thing you can give. And of course, if any of you have any skills with 3D modeling software or animation, or there's other things on our Discord. If you have a look at our recruitment channel, you'll see all kinds of different other jobs. But if any of you have that kind of skill, then that is really appreciated. But other than that, you're also voice acting. We've recently, if you saw on our channel, we recently released a short teaser for announcing the fact that we can now do voice acting. Ooh, weird colour. So if you have any skill with that, do give us a application in the Discord as well. But I'm sure there'll be a sort of more official announcement regarding that anyway. And Ivan Pozo, this man has white theme windows. Not quite sure what you mean by that. Taiki Zede, lol, you dug your own grave showing that awesome looking dwarf. Is that a threat? Hopefully that's not a threat. And Antonio agreeing that Arnor is the best faction. Amazing history, yeah, it's very cool. To be honest, I'm not very knowledgeable on the Second Age lore at all. I've only gained what I've only picked up stuff working with the YouTuber. But I do know that Arnor was split into 3 kingdoms, and they Rudauer were the evil guys, Cardolan and Arthedain. But I'm not entirely sure on how it fell apart. I know there was the war with the Witch King, of course. But and the chat, again, I apologise for being so behind on the chat. Meaty saying, will Arnor have a Hobbit unit? Yes, they will. The concept's already up. If you look at our Trello, linked 4th link in the description, you'll see they have a Hobbit unit. I've got the tier 3 concept done, and the elite Lords of Western-esque concept, my favourite yet. Hi on T, hello. You said hello probably 20 minutes ago. Apologies. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Hi on T is our Rohan developer. For any of you who are excited for that. Taiki Zede, remember to save. Absolutely. Thank you. FTZ, will Arnor have the same as the Second Age, or will they have an influence from the recent looks and styles of the people of Eriador? So they will have the same look as the Second Age, but they will be upgraded. So if you head over to FTZ, if you head over to our Trello page, you'll see that the guys from the prologue that we see are actually our tier 2 now. So they've been downgraded, I'm afraid. Just because their armor's not as heavy as what we see in Gondor. So basically the tier 3, I've made them look very similar to Gondor. Just so we can have that connection between the two. Potentially a little too similar. Because obviously they are 2 separate factions. So if you end up fighting Arnor, you know, either in a custom battle or a crazy campaign, then, you know, you might get a bit confused. But hopefully they look similar enough. Dissimilar enough, apologies. Yeah. Dissimilar enough to distinguish between the two. The lower tiers will have an inspiration from Eriador, yes. Playmaker LP, hello there, my friends. Hello, welcome to the stream. Fingers McNippleson putting the Discord in the chat there if you want it there. Gonzalo Benedicto. Well, what about Iron Hills? What do you mean by that? Is that the Dwarven concepts that are still being done? We have 2 Iron Hills units. 3 Iron Hills units, apologies. One is the one you have in game right now, the not Grim Hammers, what are they called? Iron Guard. Then we also have Matic Warriors coming soon in the next update. And also there's not officially a Iron Hills unit, but they've got the look of Iron Hills, and they are the Sons of the Mountain. And they're basically the Iron Guard with a hammer. Iron Hill, Meaty confirming that Iron Hills isn't actually a faction though. Originally it was going to be, and you've probably seen a sort of a thing going around online of their units, you know, saying they're an Iron Hills faction, but unfortunately they're not. They've been, merged with Erebor. Because at the time of the War of the Ring, I think they were merged, because Dane obviously was the leader of the Iron Hills, and then he became leader of King Under the Mountain. So the 2 factions were solidly merged when that happened. Enrique, I'm trying to learn myself to model as a hobby. As a hobbit, you said. As a hobbit. I think you mean hobby. A very fitting typo there. If I ever become good at it, I'll try to see if I can join you guys. Oh, don't doubt yourself. See, the thing about Blender is, it's not. It's quite a. It seems quite daunting, right? To anyone who hasn't done anything like that before, it is. It's a big thing. It is complicated. To be fair, at the beginning, it's a whole load of information you're getting about 3D stuff and all this kind of stuff. But you basically want to take it slow, follow a few tutorials, and really once you get the basics, once you get to know your way around the work interface and you get to know your basic keyboard commands and stuff, it's much simpler than you think. Really, I mean, I started. I can't have more than 20 hours on Blender, but I can already basically I did a tutorial online, maybe not 20 hours, maybe like something like 40 hours, but a tutorial online by Blender Guru doing a donut. That's the classic one, and that sort of teaches you to be familiar with the surf interface. And then I followed Mega Blue Iron's stream. Mega Blue Iron's really good at the streaming because he sort of makes it sound like a tutorial in a way. It's really easy to work to because he explains exactly what he's doing and he gives you tips and things. So that's really good. So I basically am now able to model a helmet. The modeling part, it's ready to. Well, it's a low poly, but it's good enough to be, an in-game thing. Of course, you can always be better. Always need practice. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Of course not. But it's that easy, really. So do give it a go. Don't be disheartened if it's all a bit much at the beginning, because it all gets simpler. And you can always ask your questions in the modding channel in our Discord. And again, I'm completely. I will get around to your questions. I do apologise. Oh, Enrique correcting there to hobby. I didn't see that. Ognyan Petrov. What about the submob with only meme jokes from the movie? A lot of them are sort of things like potato. You'd have a potato unit and stuff, right? And Denethor's tomatoes. You'd be a lot of food, wouldn't there? Denethor's tomatoes and potatoes on the battlefield. Jacob, do I use Blender? I do, but not for the mod now. I'm still learning. Once I am proficient, I will be using it for the mod. I'll be doing. Unfortunately, I'm not. Arnold's already been taken by Aldur, so I might well do Harad. You never know. Oh, sorry. That was tab, by the way. Pressing tab gives you this really cool cinematic. Not cinematic, but it's a interface free display. And for any of you, I'm not clicking the tools here because I'm doing the keyboard commands. So B is for brush, Z is zoom, stuff like that, because that's so much quicker. So it's really, if you do use Photoshop, it's really worth learning these keyboard shortcuts. Same with Blender. Gonzalo Benedicto talking about Iron Hill's units. Yeah, so there's three. There is three. Mortimer Madsen, what devices are you using for drawing those concepts? I'm on my PC at the moment. I'm using a Wacom Intuos drawing tablet though, which is quite affordable. It's quite affordable. I got it several years ago now, and it's served me fine since. It doesn't have to be. You can get really expensive pieces with a screen on them. You can get a drawing tablet with a whole screen that sort of mimics your PC screen, which is really simple for, when it comes to drawing and stuff. It makes it much easier. It's slightly weird when you first start using a drawing tablet that doesn't have a screen on it, because then you're drawing on your lap like I'm doing now, but you're looking away at a screen, so it's you're not able to see where your pen's going. So, but once you get familiar with it, yeah, it's really useful. You can't do digital art without it, in my opinion. Taiki ZA, lol, I dug my own grave showing that awesome concept dwarf in reference to the Baruch Hazard comments that yeah, came after you showed that sneak peek. Yeah. We have many Dwarven fans in the community, so and Playmaker LP says you are already. Let me just scroll back to see what you are already. Oh, yeah, I can't see you. Sorry. Apologies if I missed what you are already, Playmaker. But if it's a good thing, then I'm glad. Harry Thorpe, do you think there'll be another cavalry unit for Harad if there aren't any higher tier unit already? Harad doesn't technically have anything in game at the moment, because what is in game is going to change. There is a submod. The official Rise of Mordor submod has. Well, I think it's official, isn't it? Well, it's not. Of course, it's not official. We're official. They are submod, but the main submod unit expansion has a Harad faction with some really cool designs. I have to say, I was inspired by them to give them sort of this lamella. You can't see it here, but these sort of shoulder things that I've decided to remove for these guys. I was inspired by them because they use that as well. Cavalry units, as far as Harad goes, there are a few. Yeah, I think the elite Serpent Guards are for Harad. They're a sort of elite tier 4 cavalry. They've got some low tier and mid tier as well. They might have camel riders. I'm not sure. Massey Ferguson, I have to take my leave. Goodbye, everyone. Good job, team. Good job, Tom, and the ROM team, Rise of Mordor team. Thank you very much. And sad to see you leave, but have fun whatever you're doing. Thanks for stopping by. And sorry, if you've got a name, of course you have a name. Sorry, that's horrible. You've written it. If you have the name in the foreign language, unfortunately I can't read it. I'd love to know what your name is though in English, so I could say who's saying that. But it says, will you guys implement the Lord of the Rings protagonist as say in Troy's saga, like legendary warriors? So you're talking about heroes. And you've also already said, don't bother reading the name, call me John. John is talking about heroes. I'm not sure as far as it goes. We certainly have custom generals. I don't think we're going to go with the Troy thing of having an individual unit, a one-man unit. But more, the classic thing with just a custom model as part of a unit. Which is the same as the base game. Fingers McNippleson, the Dwarven fans are almost, at least the most fanatic. They are fanatic. They're crazy, aren't they? What's the thing that Gimli says? Something and filthy. When he's talking about the dwarves coming to Helm's Deep. Playmaker LP is saying because of the Discord. Yes, Discord is in the description. If any of you aren't in our Discord, which is a terrible sin of yours, do have a look at that, where we will see all our sort of recent previews and stuff. And Frusty, hello Frusty. Taki ZA saying Total War Attila has this awesome pre-battle speech happening. Are you guys going to change those voices, saying words that fit Lord of the Rings? Well, I'm not sure as far as that goes, but we're certainly able to do custom voice lines, so I'm sure that is included with custom voice lines. In which case, we might take stuff from the movies, we might do our own recording. And which, again, if you are good at that, if that's what you do, it would be really good to see some applications in our applications channel for voice actors. If you can get a flawless Aragorn impression or a flawless Eomer or Theoden impression, brilliant. We'll take you. Brush up on your to all you dwarven fanatics. Brush up on your Scottish accents for your voice acting there. And yeah, hey Frosty, Andrew Gardner, the man, the myth, the legend, Frosty. Very well put. McLovin, will there be a ring mechanic? Yes, there will. Ragnarok Ive, good evening. Great work, like ever. Thank you very much. It's good to see so many familiar names. Now, I realise I haven't done a huge amount. Let's work on this helmet. Let's make this face realistic. I have to say, getting a realistic face really makes or breaks a piece of art. Especially the eyes. The eyes are really important. If there's no life in the eyes, they're often, the piece could be perfect, but you'd always notice, because as human beings, we instinctively look at a figure's eyes, always first. So if you look at the eyes of a figure first, automatically, of a painting, and it's not good, then it throws the whole piece. I'm torturing you with my fine art knowledge, I'm afraid now. I'm not a big fine art history buff, I'm afraid. Big fan of Caravaggio, for any of you out there who do enjoy history of art. Caravaggio is really cool. That's why I like doing this sort of... My Rise of Mordor... we've got everything selected. My Rise of Mordor concepts are really sort of contrasted. There's lots of light and shadow, so that's inspired by Caravaggio. And Lee Dowdy, hail the almighty Frusty. Another very well put phrase. Full armed and filthy, Taiki Zede coming into the rescue there. Full armed and filthy is our Dwarven fanatics in the chat. Yep. They certainly are. This helmet is slightly uneven, isn't it? I say the helmet, we're meant to be doing the face, aren't we? I keep doing this. I keep just finding something else to do, getting distracted. John saying, toss me. Toss me. You're going to have to toss me. Tears in admission of height, yes. Apologies for that horrible Scottish accent. Toss me. You're going to have to toss me. Easy Man saying, hi Frusty, Poland strong. Joachim Jungvald, if that's pronounced right. How completed are Rise of Mordor factions, percentage-wise? Ooh, I don't know. I mean, Joachim, if you take a look at our Trello board down below, which is the fourth link in the description, you'll see all the factions that are planned and you'll recognise which ones are in game and which ones aren't. But I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think we must be over halfway. I say that we might not be over halfway of all the factions. We have a lot of factions that are not complete. Like at the moment, Erebor for you isn't complete. John saying, you may look at the eyes, man, but when it comes to girls, you certainly focus elsewhere. Right. I don't think you do, to be honest. It is always the eye. That's why. Well, anyway, okay. With a painting, is what I was talking about. You and your devilish habits can be kept to yourself. Mortimer Madsen, Caravaggio is pronounced without the I. Caravaggio? Okay, I mean, if you are Italian, I'll take your word for it. Caravaggio. I guess it's a really subtle I. Caravaggio. I wouldn't say it's Caravaggio. I'd say Caravaggio. Caravaggio. Sorry, it's a sort of anglicised English version, horrible English version of that name. But yeah, I'm sure you know better than me. Fingers Magnificent set confirming 3. Okay, only 3 factions are completely done. The rest still need some work. Some more than others. Yeah, so some are... What are the factions? Dale, Gondor, and Mordor? Is that correct? Or could it be Isengard? I'm not sure. But some of them, like, Isengard and Dol Guldur and stuff, and, they have a fair amount done. And stuff like Imladris only has a selection of units. So, work... Same with Linden, I think. Linden's slightly more expanded, but work is steady. So do hold out. We have an incredibly dedicated team of modelers who really love what they do. So, and Luso Gaming, great work. Thank you very much. Taiki ZA saying, we all in favour say, I think we found our dwarf voice actor. I'd love to do some voice acting, actually. I don't know, maybe dwarves. When I'll have to sort of damage my throat, then you can get really raspy, filthy voice for a dwarf. But dwarf voice acting in general would be, that'd be really fun to do some of that. I think Leo mentioned that it'd be cool as an Easter egg for every one of us developers to put something in terms of voice acting, one line each into the piece, into the mod, just as an Easter egg, no matter how terrible. And Easy Man asking Frusty when his next marathon is for 6 or 8 hours. If you don't know what he means there, Frusty is a machine. He did a 7.5 hour stream, if you believe that. 7.5 hours would knock me out. He was working on the Ered Mithrin veterans. That is the kind of dedication we get from our dwarven modeler. He joined less than 3 months ago. And he's been blasting away at Erebor, so it's really, really cool to see. It's inspiring to see such dedication. What people saying? Frusty saying he's going to make the Mansion Reclaimers live on stream Saturday. Okay, so that means I have. Let me just quickly check the date. What's the day today? Hang on, let me check on my computer, my laptop. Thursday today. So being in a lockdown, on a gap year in a lockdown, means I have completely lost track of time. Thursday today, so I've got Friday and Saturday. Okay, I've got 2 days. Myself and Edred have 2 days to get this concept done. There's not really time limits with Rise of Mordor, but it's good to set yourself some, because that really helps, get things finished. By the way, I haven't said this in a while, but any suggestions you have on this, really, I would love to hear it. Because, this is a thing I'm doing based off the films. It's not seen in the films, but it's based off the films. So, you're all familiar with this style as well. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's get some. This cloth looks a bit janky. There's a sort of integrated head scarf into the helmet, or rather, he's got the head scarf on over the helmet to cover his face. And okay, so Frusty can stream on Saturday and Monday. Okay, lovely. Fingers Magnificent saying Dunland. Okay, so Dunland is the third complete faction. I don't know. Dunland is unfortunately very prone to being forgotten. And I actually plan on redesigning Dunland in its entirety. That's something, of course, to come much later down the line when all the factions are initially designed. But I think Dunland could be much more than what it is. I'm not sure. Does anyone know who modelled Dunland? I'm not sure who did that, or when they were released. Even I'm not. Isengard only need wargs, yeah, and Mordor is getting some reworks, but needs wargs and wargs and trolls, of course, yeah. Easy Man, Frusty, all the dwarf 7 clans will be waiting for you. Don't let us down, Baruch Hazard. The dwarven fans showing again that they are in charge of the chat. One Baruch Hazard will send all you cowardly elven fans running, I'm sure. I'm not being serious, of course. Elven fans are just as welcome. I'm sure our project leader Manu will vouch for that. He is our Elven modeler. Elven fans, elves have got a lot of love, of course, in the mod. You know, you've got all 3, 4. No, you haven't got all 4, have you? Lothlorien is missing, but you've got Imladris, Linden, and Wooden Realm to enjoy. Preben van der Straten. Oh, butchering the name again. Apologies, Preben. But hi, welcome to the stream. Yeah. What do you mean by not really a time limit on Rise of Mordor? We all want to. We all here want to play it at least once before we pass on. Yeah, I don't mean a time limit on, releases and stuff. I mean that happens with time. You just have to give them time. But little time limits, as in I need to get that concept by this date. That kind of formal time limit. Get this concept by this date because it is needed by this person. But again, like demonstrate, if I need to get that concept of Fruity by Saturday. And for me, I'm on a gap year. I'm in a lockdown, like I said. So that's not a difficult thing for me to do. There's nothing really better I could do. And I love it. I love what I do with these guys. So absolutely no problem there. I mean, I guess we could work on it today if we have time. Let me know if you want to say. I mean, all the Dwarven fans will suddenly. I've probably incited another wave of Baruch Hazads, but if you want me to work on that instead today, then do let me know. I'll do a little bit more on this, of course. We're only an hour in after all, so maybe for the last half an hour, if you'd like to see that, I could do that. Frusty's easy, I won't because I menu. Mortimer Madison. Will the concept art itself be featured in-game in some kind of way? Perhaps as a loading screen, that'd be nice to see. At the moment, as it stands, the only things that will be that are in-game is unit cards. And you can see some of my unit cards for Imladris and Lothlorien. Not Lothlorien, I keep saying Lothlorien. Linden. And the Woodland Realm. Woodland Realm are my favourite cards so far. And I did the dwarfs. I've redone the dwarf ones that I did for last update. But all the dwarven ones are going to get added next update, of course. And I've been working on Rohan ones as well, that you've seen me do in stream. If you do want to have a sneak peek of what Rohan will look like, I think the only complete units that we've ever showed are in my unit card streams. So if you want to have a look at what Rohan looks like, do head over to our channel and have a look at my unit card streams, where you'll see some admittedly lower tier. But there's no fun if we show you that elite one straight away. Got to ease you into it. And you'll notice, I mean, I haven't done a huge amount of this concept, okay? But because, I mean, the Arid Mithrin veterans that I did last time, it was difficult to focus on them. If those of you who were here at the beginning will know that it was difficult to focus on them. I sort of lost my mind a bit, lost my mind completely over them, and ended up doing a lot of them off camera. Unfortunately, I said I wouldn't, but yeah. So this time I'm taking it much slower. So you won't see a huge amount of progress. This one isn't meant to be a concept in its entirety. This is just working on a Harad concept, parts of a Harad concept. So I'm taking it slower, and I'm just not stressed about this one. Tingus McNippleson saying, oh no, hang on, I missed some. Joachim Jungwald, will Gollum be in Rise of Mordor? I'm not sure, I'm afraid. I don't know. I don't know where he would be, to be honest, unless there's a sort of rebels faction of miscellaneous units like Ents and Army of the Dead. I'm not sure. I don't know what he wouldn't have a bodyguard, would he? I don't know. I doubt it. I'm afraid. Fingers Magnificent. Dunland is a mix. Some of the assets came from an external modder. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to redesign them properly. You know, what I do love is when a blank canvas for a cat faction, an entire faction. Even better if they haven't got any aesthetic from the films. You can just sort of plan it all, and you can sort of work out what is connected and what is a little off branch and stuff. Because usually with a faction, not all the units look the same. You know, let's take an example of Harad. Okay, well, let me explain to you the Harad roster. For those of you who don't know, Harad is split into three sort of offshoots. You've got the main tribe, which is basically the main tribe is the movie guys. So that kind of look, you know, the headscarves, the wicker, the bronze plates and scales and things. That's what we're doing for the main tribe. Basically, the train everywhere units. And then second tribe is the Muhad tribe, and these are kind of the crazy berserkers, the war paint, not naked, but bare-chested, and those are the guys who stand at the front of the Mumakil. So that's the second tribe, and they'll be, you know, less armor, more damage, sort of shock troop kind of things. And then the third tribe, so to say, is Umbar, which is not a tribe; it's a sort of colony, isn't it? A separate colony, but they're going to be included in Harad for now. So that's the third thing, and they have obviously a more Numenorian / Eastern look. Well, they will have, rather. I haven't designed them yet, but yeah, having that blank canvas is really good because I could just sort of plan everything, and having those offshoots of the Muhad and Umbar mean you can basically tailor your faction perfectly to have this unit looking a little bit like this unit, etc., etc. Triarius saying, will there be a Horde faction? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Fruity saying Elven fans equals Frozen fans. I'm sure you can be both, and I'm sure I don't like Frozen. I'm afraid I'm equally in favour of elves and dwarves. They both have their points, and to be honest, I get bored after a time drawing them. I do get bored, and I always come back to men because they are much more interesting. Oh no. Baruk Hazad. I'm seeing a lot of Baruk Hazads, but then someone says keep working on Harad. Yeah, so if you want to see the Mansion Reclaimers, do let me know. But I'll keep working on Harad for now then. Joseph Maloney. Welcome. The concepts would look good as loading screens. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to see that actually. I could add some sort of fancy text all over them. You know, having a concept like this and having like little notes here and a little sketch of a helmet and different things to make it look really like it's a worked piece. I don't know if that's something that would improve the loading screen, make it look more like it's like I said, but I don't know. Getting them in game would be cool. I do sometimes use concepts for unit cards, sort of shrink them down and modify them, but haven't done that recently. Cohen and Philip Heinrich, welcome to the stream. Philip Heinrich saying, "Oh Harad, I just love it from the sound." Yeah. And Cohen saying, "Love the concept of golden armor mixed with the Middle Eastern look." Thank you. Joseph Maloney saying Gollum would work as an agent or a spy type character. That's a good point. Showing up every now and then. I mean, it could be a rebels faction. I doubt he could work for Mordor, I guess, but you never know. We don't know why. He wasn't mentioned in the faction overview though. That we might expand, and we might re-expand those faction overviews that we're doing. I'm sure most of you watching are familiar with our faction overviews that have been hugely successful recently. I must say, for a small channel like us, it's really been a boom. If you haven't watched them, do go and have a look because they are really, really good. But basically, faction overview of Gondor and Mordor. We might expand them to do a sort of separate spin-off thing of, army unit rosters and stuff. Because a lot of you are saying there's no explanation of the unit rosters. And I suppose stuff like agents could be included with that, yes. Enrique is saying, I think of them as fanatical cultists, the second clan. Oh, the Muhad. Yes, yeah, kind of. The guys, the man, the Muma killed, the guy that Eomer skewers on his javelin. They just they're obviously mad. They're obviously mentally deranged. So yes, I agree. Kern, so what kind of tribe are you designing right now? These guys are the main tribe. These are a bit. I know you just joined actually, so I'll just say again that these guys are tier 3 Harad, and you'll note. Whoops, I keep doing this. That these guys are tier 2. So these guys are the people you see in the films on the elephants, on the Mumakil, shooting down at Rohirrim. Oh no, save that. But basically for tier 3, we need to make them look more elite, but keep that same style. I don't want to lose that style. And this guy looks very clean. I'm looking at him now. He looks really clean, but we want to make him look similar to this. So I'm going to add some jade and some bone and stuff every now and then. So let's do some detailing. Actually, I just might as well. I said I'd fix the face. I still haven't fixed the face after half an hour. And Sam Ardito. I know that neither Cand nor Ened Waith are planned. Or being worked on as of now, but are there any plans for them in the future? I don't know, to be honest. Yes, you're right, they're not planned at the moment. But, I'm not sure, actually. It may well be that when we have our campaign out in a beta stage, which, for those of you who didn't catch it earlier, is coming sooner than you think. We may well find that actually there's too little happening in the southeast. There's nothing there. Or again, in sort of central Eriador, or southern Eriador, where Ened Waith is, there's nothing happening. There's just too many. There's just a load of rebel settlements that just do nothing. In which case we might look to add that, yeah. Smokey. Why do I need to put my volume higher than normal? Apologies, right. Is the volume alright for you? I mean, I've moved my microphone even closer to my face. Hopefully that should be alright. Apologies if you have to modify your volume. Philip Heinrich, will there be a Games Workshop Serpent Guard style unit? I'm not sure what you mean. I haven't. I'm a bit out of date with Games Workshop stuff. But if you have any reference photos that you want to see, send them to me over Discord. I'm Myron, by the way. If you want to see my name, if you go on our previous channel, you'll see me post all the concept art. So just give me a message, send me some photos. Philip, if you could do that now, I could give my opinion on them now. But yes, I would love to have that kind of inspiration. I don't know what I'm doing for the Serpent Guard yet, to be honest. Fingers McNippleson, are you going to make some loading screens like we already have for examples like the Pelagia Marines and Isengard Pikes? Gosh, they are very cool loading screens, aren't they? Our old artist, Robbie McSweeney, did an incredible job on them. I might as well shout him out as well. Go and have a look at his stuff. Really, really cool. He's big into historical illustration, which I really like as well. Inspires me to do some of that. So he made some really cool loading screens. You've probably seen them around on the internet actually, because they're popular there. I might do that, Fingers, if I some cool scenes with some Rise of Mordor custom units and stuff. That'd be cool. Unfortunately not now, because I just There's so much concept stuff to do, but there will come a time when we run out of concepts. So yes, then yes. And Philip Heinrich, will there be a captain with the Muhad style spikes on the back? Yes. That crazy spike harness that they wear will make its way into the designs. Maybe more than just the captain. I might make a whole unit look like that. I haven't thought about them yet. I'm going to design all of main Harad first. I say that there's not a huge amount left. Oh, okay. I've got. If you look at these guys, there's basically. I'm going to do 4 variants for these. 4 swords, 4 shields, 4 cuirass. That's not a cuirass, is it? That's just a chest torso piece of armor. 4 kind of headscarf designs and stuff. And hopefully that could be applied to all 5 or 6 tier 2 units. And there's different weapon designs. If I do the weapons separately, or my intern does the weapons separately, then that saved me a lot of time on those concepts. Same with these guys. These guys will be applied to all. It's only 2 actually, isn't it? It's only 2 other Harad units from tier 3 that look like this. And other than that, we've just got tier 1 and the Serpent Guard. But I might just bounce around. I don't know yet. Philip Heinrich, by the way, already loved the tier 3s. Thank you very much. I'll do a 3rd variation. This guy's just a stand-in. Just for any of you wondering, he's the same as that guy. I'll do a 3rd, slightly different thing to just... Because having 2, just if you're looking for a look of disorganized, that's not the right word. Asymmetry, that's not the right word either. Ununiformness. Gosh, terrible English, terrible form. Two variations isn't often enough to show that really accurately. You often need sort of 3 or 4 to make him look really to make each unit look like he's different. But it's a good thing to know when to use variation in a unit and when to not. Because if you want someone looking really elite, like the Serpent Guard, they might only have 1. They might all look the same because they're really elite and they can all buy this correct armor, etc., etc. So I don't know. But that's a good skill to have. Git saying, same as Khazad-dûm is not planned at the moment. Git is a huge Khazad-dûm fan for anyone who doesn't know. But yes, it's not planned at the moment. But if we find that Central Middle Earth is lacking, or the Misty Mountain faction, the goblins are just steamrolling everyone, or stuff like that, then we might well have them. You never know. So don't give out hope. But at the moment, we are not planning to do them. So don't spam us. Enrique saying the shoulder pads could have bone something decoration to make it perhaps gain less of a clean look. Yes, so the bone, as Victimized did actually point out to me, we're going to give him sort of bone like this. I might as well just draw them now. And of course they're very messy right now, but we'll tidy that up. Oh. No, let's do something slightly neater than that. Well, that looks a bit too barbaric, in my opinion. You've caught me now trying to work out something live on stream. So we're having another Erad Mithrin Veterans dragon on their helmet moment, for any of you who are there. Lee Dowdy, you could also add some wooden elements to make it less clean. Yes, so wooden spikes, wooden... so they're sort of these gold rivets, these bronze rivets, that go around the edges, and there's bits of jade. Let's add some jade. What have I got on my sketch? Okay, so there's a sort of, yeah. And the fact it's all sort of clumsily sewn together adds to help that as well. Joachim Lungvald, sorry. Who is Harad's leader? We don't know. We're going to have to make someone up. Probably some kind of serpent lord kind of thing, like in Divide and Conquer. But as a gameplay, from a gameplay perspective, you'll have to unite the clans of Harad. Like I mentioned before, the Muhad, Umbar, but potentially some kind of, because obviously we're able to expand the map all the way down. We're able to go into Far Harad because we've got the room. So you might see some kind of crazy jungle Harad faction that is, truly Far Harad, and that might make it into the campaign as well. In which case, that'll be an additional clan to bring to your command, I guess, to unite. Owen Whitbread, great work on the Haradrim. Can we see you do the Mansion Reclaimers, please? Okay, how about this? Okay, in 15 minutes, for the last half an hour of the stream, I will do the Mansion Reclaimers, perhaps even finish them for Frusty. So all you Dwarven fans, especially you, Geert. I know it's not... Well, yeah, Geert, actually, this is the one unit that is from Khazad-dûm at the moment in the game. So I'm sure Geert is very pleased. So in 15 minutes, I'll do them. Philip Heinrich, I sent you the Games Workshop version of the Serpent Guard. Oh, yes, sorry, I saw that. Completely forgot about that. Let me get that. Ooh, they're cool. Oh, that's very different to what I thought. Oh, I like them. I don't get Serpent Guard vibes from them. I get sort of assassin almost, kind of. There is a tier 3 assassin unit. They have these cool axes. I've designed the axe. The axe here. It's a sort of Indian inspired axe. But assassins wearing black, and they have very little armor. That mask of the guy in the front, unfortunately you guys can't see this. Actually, I wonder if I can open up. Is Discord working? Sometimes it just doesn't open. Right, it's not opening when I want it to, so unfortunately you can't guys see that at the moment. But they have a really cool mask. Very cool. So yeah, I'll definitely use that as inspiration. If you've got any more pictures, anyone, let me get the chat back up. If you've got any more reference you want me to use, or just things, suggestions, do either let me know here or message me on Discord, because that would be really, really cool. Yeah. Geert, how is your 3D course going? Hopefully you'll become our Khazad-dûm modeler. That would be a bitter fight with Frusty there. Frusty is very keen on doing dwarves as well. Geert, that'd be cool if you do modelling. Any of you who think, if any of you do want to start, that's really, really welcome. It's easier than you think, 3D modelling. Slightly daunting at first, but easier than you think once you get familiar with it. I haven't said it in a while though, so if you are new to Rise of Mordor and you're wondering what the hell is going on here, have a look at our Discord, linked in the description below. And there's all our other stuff there, ModDB, Reddit, and you can also find my personal art Instagram down there as well if you want to see more of my work. And let me get back to the chat, because I've been neglecting you all again. Andrew Gardner saying, I think that would be sick if you guys add the jungles of Far Harad. I agree. We Victimized found a really cool reference for a bronze lion head helmet. These guys could be they don't necessarily have to be a snake. They could be a lion or a lizard or something horrible there, or a leopard, and they'd be covered in skins and pelts and stuff. That'd be really, really cool to design. But that's, yeah, unfortunately that's not for now. Mortimer Madison, that'd be pretty cool. Kern, would be nice if one of the 3D modelers could post a tutorial of them making a Rise of Mordor helmet, for example. The 3D Donut and Anvil tutorial of Blender Guru are not much compared to Rise of Mordor. Very true, Kern, very true. Actually, to be honest, if you look at Mega Blue Iron streams, he's done some recent ones where he's modelled Mordor Tier 3 helmets. And I was able to follow along with it. I'm a complete noob at Blender, really, in the grand scheme of things. I'm a noob. I'm familiar with it, but I'm a noob. But it was really simple. He explains things incredibly well. And he shows you what he's doing, and it explains why he's doing them and gives you tips. So do check out them. They're really, really good to follow. And if you all do want a sort of official series of tutorials, spam message Mega Blue Iron on Discord, because then get the pressure on to get him to make a proper tutorial. Because that would be cool. Because if there's a dedicated Rise of Mordor tutorial, then anyone who wants to do modelling, we can sort of direct you, just watch this and do it. And then, you can go on your merry way and follow that. And that's exactly, you don't have to sort of learn Blender Guru and try and work out, right, now how the hell do I do this on Rise of Mordor? Because that's what I did until I saw his streams. Taiki ZA, really can't wait to play the campaign one day. One day soon. Awkward Saxon, you could look for pictures of Middle Eastern armor, etc. for more inspiration if you feel stuck at some point. Yeah, very true, very true. And Philip Heinrich saying you love the Serpent Guard too. Yeah, to be honest, those guys, like I said, they give me more of an assassin vibe. The Serpent Guard, I want them to be fully armored. They're going to be covered in bronze and red, and black. Bronze, red, and black. Basically, like this, they can be clean and elite and uniform. Is the hope. Terrifying. Kern saying, I'll make Mansion Reclaimers like a tutorial if you guys want. That'll be really cool, yeah. So and Frusty as well, so he does, the legend did a 7.5 hour stream the other day. If you want him to, explain, and if you, same with me, if you want me to explain what I'm doing, obviously 2D art is a lot simpler. But if you do, what am I doing? Clearly I don't know what I'm doing either, do I? So that would be great. But if you do want me to explain stuff in a little more detail as I go along, do let me know that as well. Because I'm sure I could just sort of tell you what I'm doing. I appreciate that at the moment I'm just sort of doing it. So let me know that. Philip Heinrich, maybe it's a Hashari version. Hashari, that's from Medieval 2, isn't it? Not Medieval 2, of course, the Third Age mod. So yeah, something like that, yeah. Lightly armoured but deadly. Enrique, and that's in reference to the Tier 3 assassin unit, if you didn't catch that earlier. Enrique, I hope that Harad's leader, that's his name, is perhaps a word in meaning that we can relate to, where he or she is from, like izin meaning permission. I'm not sure language-wise. I think Maestro is our language/lore expert. So any questions on Harad, ask him on the Discord. Not questions on Harad, sorry. Any questions on names and language, get him to answer because he can do a much better job than me. Cohen, at Frusty, that would help me so much. Blender is really complicated. Yeah, at the beginning it is complicated. But I think I can figure it out much faster if I learn the basics quicker that you guys use for modelling Rise of Mordor units. Yeah. So if you, learning, like I just said, learning Blender from a Blender Guru tutorial and stuff is great, but then trying to work out how the hell you work that out, you do that in Rise of Mordor, is just mind-boggling. You need a dedicated tutorial. And then once you've got the really basics, you can join our team as an intern. And then you can move on to a team member. If you're good enough, you can go straight to a team member. So if any of you do want to get on with it, if you want to get into modelling, A, message Mega Blue Iron, and B, spam Frusty with, please make your stream a tutorial. Also, just watching the streams makes you familiar with the process. Because before I watched the streams, I had no idea I still have very little, even less of a clue what UV mapping and baking and texture painting and stuff like this, high poly, low poly, what the hell does that all mean? Slowly I'm working it out. But I'm sure that a lot of you are horribly confused when you hear all these crazy terms and see stuff you can't understand what's going on. So tutorial will be great. Yeah. Philip Heinrich. By the way, is it me or do I just have a delay with about 3 minutes? That's probably, well, that's two things. One is probably poor internet connection on my end, but also I'm way behind on the chat. That's why I lag back. I'm having to concentrate on both the concept and the chat means I spend way too long. I sort of go on these little rambles as well, the rants about I can see one question and talk for 5 minutes about it. So that's why I sort of lag behind on the chat. But don't worry, I'm coming to all your questions. Philip Heinrich again saying, do you know what clans will be Harad besides Muhad and the main one? Umbar it's not a clan, of course, it's a settlement, but it's a colony. But we're including them in Harad, and potentially, like I said, the Far Harad clans. We don't know yet. We haven't fully developed the campaign gameplay. And Philip Heinrich sent me some other stuff again as well. Git saying, if we should get a Khazad-dûm, a big if, it will be a horde faction from start. Your objective will be to reclaim Khazad-dûm. Good idea. Yes, it'll be something like that. Kern saying, I think that making Rise of Mordor tutorials will be very smart since recruiting new people will go so much quicker and more quantity. But I know, of course, that it takes time for you guys to make them. No, I think, to be honest, all it would take, it would take some effort, of course, and maybe some editing and stuff in post, but all it needs is one of us to make, one of the modelling team to make a asset, as they usually would, but keep the things rolling, keep the screen recording. And you can sort of add voiceover later, I think, maybe. Just so that it doesn't, just so you get, or maybe not, maybe during actually might be better. But that'd be really cool, like I said. Philip Heinrich, Hashari aren't the third age Total War. Their games workshop too. Oh, I see, okay. And let's have a look what Philip has sent. Oh, yeah, they are very cool. So the Hashari they've thrown some purple in there. Purple is a really, really rich colour. For anyone who doesn't know, fun fact about purple was that it was a very rare colour back in the medieval times, or early times. That's why emperors and kings wore purple, because it had to be extracted from a shellfish. This particular type of shellfish. That's also why no flags have purple in them. Well, 2 flags have purple in them, but they are really modern countries. And what else the chat saying? Hang on. Kern. Oh, okay, I didn't know an intern was a thing on Rise of Mordor. I'll aim for that then. I'll shut up and let you work. No, it's good. It's really nice to have your opinions and your chat in the background. These streams aren't really meant for me to actually get some serious work done. If I want to get work done, I just put in the headphones and work. These streams are to talk with you guys, answer your questions, and show you what we're doing. Because that is a big part of keeping up the enthusiasm and stuff. Getting you guys in the loop is really important. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, we've been going 2.5 hours, which means it's time to switch over to the long anticipated Mansion Reclaimers. But we haven't done a huge amount. We've smoothed things out. If I'll just say what I did here, I mean, things were really blocky at the beginning, if you remember, like the legs here, just really base colours. So I've gone over, added shadows, I've added, blending and stuff. Things are much smoother, and started to add sort of scratches, dirt, and little details like the jade ornaments here. And I might do another one of these. I might continue these guys on stream. And Taiki asking, how will these guys hold up one-on-one against other factions? I'm not sure on these guys' stats, to be honest. I wanted to. I mean, I'm designing something like this. You know, obviously, we had an issue with the Harad modeler. I mentioned that a guy came in to model Harad from the 1212 AD mod. So, you know, familiar with Attila modding, but unfortunately he was. I'm not sure. He got a bit involved with the campaign and stuff, and he was quite. I don't know. He had a very fixed idea on what he wanted, and he wanted these tier 2 guys to be the only Harad guys. He wanted that. I mean, that just isn't how we work, really, is it? So, unfortunately, he decided not to continue, which was a shame because that would have been good to have a Harad modeler. I'm sure you will agree, even if it was difficult to work with him. I think the issue was because there was a lack of communication between our departments, you know, animation, modeling, 2D, balancing, campaign, stuff like that. So lack of communication led to confusion, as it does. So a shame he's gone, but hopefully we can find someone else to get these Harad concepts done. And I've completely gone off on a tangent on Taiki's question. What did you say? How will these guys hold up 1-to-1 against other factions? Oh yes, that's it. Like I said, oh yeah, I did say I'm not sure on the stats of these guys. But I'm designing these guys to have more of a solid look. It doesn't seem fair that the most Harad has is those stupid guys from the film. Because they're incredibly poorly armoured. They just melt under, in a sort of realism, looking at it accurately through what they're wearing. Those guys, these wicker stuff, they just wouldn't stand a chance against Gondor. Going up against fully armoured infantry, they just wouldn't stand a chance. So hopefully these guys are much more comparable. I don't think armour will be their specialty. You know, because it's bronze. Bronze isn't as strong as steel or iron. And also, you know, they've got open sleeves and they've got open faces and lack of leg protection on this guy. Not that guy, but, you know, they're slightly janky. They look mismatched. That's the word from earlier, mismatched, isn't it? So, yeah. But let me call it a day for these guys. I'm waving my hands around when I talk. You can't see that, of course. And I point at the screen for where I'm talking about, but I have no idea. You guys can't see that. Zayed al-Badawi. Will there be camel riders? I can't remember off the top of my head, but Zayed, have a look at our Trello page, linked in the description, where you'll see all our planned unit rosters. And I'm sure you'll see if there's camel riders there. Sprout in the dark. Am I late? Have I missed much? Unfortunately, you've missed me work on this Harad concept. Right now, you get to join just in time to see the Mansion Reclaimers. We're gonna, by popular request, just deviate from Harad for half an hour to round off the stream, working on these guys. I realise I've done a lot of work on them. I just need to add the little details and they'll be ready to send off to Edred. But yes, so for now, that's it for Harad. And you will see them again. I will definitely do another stream. And let me just catch up on the chat quickly. Philip Heinrich, maybe poison weapons do the job for the bad armor. Yeah, good point. Especially the assassin unit. They'll be in cloth, but they'll have super high damage and stuff like that. So yeah. Enrique, perhaps for that they lack armor they can make up in speed plus special units. Well, yeah, they've got elephants and obviously large unit sizes, I imagine, and probably sort of dedicated elites like the Muhad tribe. These crazy berserkers, even though they don't have any armor, they're just going to rip through stuff and fear and stuff like that. So we don't know yet. Because Geert's saying because 1 or 2 dwarven factions is a bit meager. Is that because you want Khazad-dûm. Yeah, well, unfortunately, because we're basing our mod off the Third Age. During the War of the Ring, there wasn't the dwarves weren't a huge part in the world anymore. Ered Luin was a thing, but they kept themselves, and Erebor slowly kept themselves as well. They were partners with Dale and Ravanion, and they fought and died together at the Battle of Dale and Battle of Erebor during the War of the Ring. But that Khazad-dûm wasn't a thing. Obviously, you had Balin's exploration, but that failed. We see in the Fellowship that failed. So we know for a fact that there wasn't any dwarves in Khazad-dûm by the time of the War of the Ring. So that's why we don't have Khazad-dûm. Canary Boy 64 is a tester. Don't worry, us testers will make sure they are viable. Yes. It's down to Maestro. Maestro on the testing team. And Wizlet Man, our database editor. I still feel bad for forgetting what his job was. So every stream I mentioned that Wizlet Man is our new and epic database editor. And he's a contender for the tournament champion. He's in the semi-finals. Facing off against Smokey, another tester. So yeah, and you'll see that fairly soon. I think it was going to be tonight, and I accidentally planned a stream for tonight. So apologies for any of you who are looking forward to that, but you'll see it soon. Ragnarok IV, man, they look so awesome. Will someone be modelling them soon? Frusty is going to model. If you're talking about the Dwarven concept, Frusty is going to model them on Saturday, and then on Monday again, I think. And he might make it a sort of tutorial series where you can follow along. Mortimer Madison coming in with another Baruch Khazad. Khazad Imenu to you. Philip Heinrich, by the way, if you need inspiration for the Harad clans, I heard you talked about my question, but I didn't realise it. Games Workshop has an okayish lore with the cities of Abra, Khan and Karna. Oh, is that their sort of made up names and stuff? I'm not sure. I haven't followed Games Workshop for a long time. But yeah, it'll be cool. Any reference you guys have, send them over to me on Discord. Myron is the name. Oh yeah, so Philip Heinrich confirming those are both made up. They're unknown and not any maps, so it's just for them. Yeah. Mike saying, have you seen the Age of the Ring mod for Battle for Middle-earth 2? Rise of the Witch King, is that? Yeah. They are bringing out a Harad faction soon. I'll check that out. It'll be good to have that inspiration, yeah. Sprout in the Dark. I love the armour. Thank you very much. Geert is also hyped for the Elven Year. That is crazy. Geert is saying something that isn't Khazad-dûm. That is really a moment to remark. Hype for the Elven units. Good, good, good. What Elven unit's coming out soon? In terms of next update, I think there's only one that Manu's done at the moment. He's doing a lot of our sort of admin and other work at the moment. That's a horrible pattern. Let's just do a sort of crisscross kind of thing. So Manu hasn't been able to spend a huge amount of time as before on the elves. But they are still getting love, don't worry. What are people saying? Joseph Maloney, I'd love to think that this unit would have lots of variation in armour from the ancient times, as possibly dwarves no longer knew how to forge it. That's a good point, actually. That's a very good point. I imagine that dwarves no longer knew how to forge this stuff. Although, no, I think they did. They must have done. Because Bilbo had his shirt, his mail shirt. Although that could have been forged in ancient times as well. So yeah, do raise that in Frusty's stream, Joseph. Frusty loves his variation. You can't really see this patterning, can you? Oh well. Gonzalo Benedict is so damn epic. Thank you. Joseph Maloney, as they found, they found them in the ancient armories. Yeah, they probably did. So yeah, you're right there. You never know. This could have been the standard Khazad-dûm soldier armor. So in which case that would mean they'd all look like that. But yeah, that's down to Frusty. I'm always happy to design some variations. And Edred, I'm going to pass this concept on to Edred once it's finished, so that he can design the weapons. Because this was a collaborative concept, or it will be when he gets his hands on it. Requested by the winner of the killing competition on Discord. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort of bot-run hosted competition. Just a little bit of fun. And yeah, so he won it, and he requested, as far as I know, he requested the colour scheme and the looks and the fact he has a mask, etc. Ragnarok IV. I mean the Haradrim. What do you? Let me just go back to what you were talking about. Okay. Will someone be modelling the Haradrim soon? Unfortunately, like I said, we lost our Haradrim modeler. He was with us for a very brief time before he decided to go because he didn't like it. The reason he, like I said, the reason he left was because we came from 1212 AD. And over there, they don't have inter-department work. They sort of do their own stuff. They come up with their own ideas and, take their units themselves from start to finish. Whereas here, obviously, there's all kinds of different departments. For the units anyway, there's 2D. They start off as a concept, then they go to a modeler, then they get subject to, and obviously the descriptions are based on Weta and existing stuff, but also dictated by Maestro's campaign planning and his stat work and stuff. So it's a much more inclusive, collaborative process of doing something like this. Whereas over there, it must have been much simpler. So he was very confused and startled almost as to the what was needed to work on a unit. But yeah, it's a shame we lost him. And again, this was rough. This was not even meant to be a proper concept. This was just I was originally going to just do a quick little sketch for Frusty, but I've decided to do a proper thing, and because we agreed we'd do a collaborative thing with Edred. Here I'm flipping it. Flipping the canvas is an artist trick that helps you see the mistakes, because you get used to looking at the unflipped version for so long that your mind gets used to it, and it's convinced it's right. But when you flip it, it suddenly becomes a new piece, and then you see all the errors. But this one looks okay because I flipped. The feet needs some modifying. And what were people saying? Ragnarok Ive said, I love the Haradrim, but the Mansion Reclaimers are also a masterpiece. Thank you. But yeah, in terms of when we'll get someone modelling Harad, I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, I would be happy to model them, but I don't have the skills at the moment. That is where you all come in, and we need you to learn Blender from Mega and Frusty streams. I need you all to get on your bikes and learn. And apply, join the team, become interns, rise to developers, and the mob will be done in no time. Zayad Al-Badawi. Also, potential cities can come from Minecraft Lord of the Rings mod with lore. P.S. My name is Zayad. Apologies. I'm not sure about the Minecraft Lord of the Rings mod. I don't follow Minecraft very much. But if there is cool stuff on there, we have a suggestions channel in our Discord. So any cool suggestions regarding lore and units and anything, post them there. We'll get back to you on that. Feel free to message any of us privately as well. Lee Dowdy. Have you seen the Last Alliance mod for Shogun 2? Fun fact, I worked for that mod. I haven't had any time to do any this year. I got a bit bored, to be honest. That's how I started. Way before I did Rise of Mordor. In the summer of... What's the year? I've completely lost it. 2018. I started doing concept art for that. I worked on Harad and a little bit of Numenor. And the elves. But yeah, no, I mean, that was my first experience of seeing my own drawings come to life in 3D, which was incredible. It's really, really fun. But then I discovered Rise of Mordor and joined up the team there, and it's just, it was better. You know, there was so much more engagement, and the quality of those two games, the difference is, or the quality we produce is really, really phenomenal. So it was more inspiring to just work there, and I devoted all my time there, and I ended up not having time for Last Alliance, unfortunately. There wasn't as much sort of teamwork, and there wasn't as much engagement with the audience, unfortunately. But it's looking very cool from what I see. So I'm already a veteran of designing Harad concepts, but my old ones were slightly more boring, and they didn't look like the films. They looked a little bit more historical. So hopefully second time round with these guys, not these guys, if you're watching this new, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about, but we were doing Harad concepts before. If you are watching new now, you'll be very confused as to why we're doing these mithril-clad dwarves. But that's just because we have an overwhelming presence of dwarven fans in the chat right now. And I showed them this and they went crazy. So I've decided to just finish off the stream with this. And we'll go for about 15 more minutes. These are the Mansion Reclaimers, and look out for Frusty modelling them on Saturday live. And he'll try and make that a tutorial series where he explains everything he's doing, so you guys can get in on the action, get in on the development action, and become developers. What was I going to say? Oh yes, promotion. If you are new here as well, have a look in the description. If you're new to Rise of Mordor, that is. Have a look in the description to our Discord, where you'll find out more about the project. And also, if you want to catch these streams in future, do hit the bell. I know it sounds... everyone says it, of course, but it's true. You will be notified when we stream next if you hit the bell. Or if you go to our Discord and you select yourself the follower role in the server setup channel. Select yourself that, and then you'll get notified. You'll get pinged when we do a Discord... Not a Discord, when we do a live stream in future. And I've missed the chat again. Matthew Grove. What weapon will the Mansion Reclaimers be using? Not sword and shield, axe and shield. And Edred will be designing them. Kern. Arrows are pretty much useless when facing the dwarves when they have got units like this. Very true. Very true, my friend. Let's give them a golden trim on the cloak. Spurdo. Wow, beautiful armor. Is this part of the Iron Hills faction? No, well, this is... Iron Hills faction has been merged with Erebor. So these guys are the Mansion Reclaimers. And these guys are an area of recruitment unit from Khazad-dûm. But they are in the Erebor faction, yes. Sprout in the dark. The helmet. Oh my god, this helmet. Thank you. This sort of closed style helmet we're going to save for Ered Luin. I think that's going to be Ered Luin's look. So that's not part of this. Yezer Khalid. Oh, is that Mithril? That certainly is Mithril. Glad you could tell that's Mithril. I sort of put a bluish tint to it. And Frusty, if you're watching, this should be flawless. There shouldn't be a single scratch on this. And I know I've got little bits of dirt on this, haven't I? There we go. Clear all that up. This should be super shiny and super super clean. Zayad Al Badawi. Well, epic. Good night, people. Good night, Zed. Philip Heinrich sent you the Games Workshop concepts. Oh, brilliant. Let's have a look at them again. Wow, yeah. There's so much stuff here that I haven't seen. Oh, these are really cool. The fat guys. I can't see us using the fat guys. But that is really, really cool, yeah. I love the guy with the two swords. You guys can't see. I'm not going to spend too long on that. I'll look at them later because I don't want to spend too long without the chat knowing what I'm looking at. Geert saying, in Divide and Conquer, Khazad-dûm is actually a pretty big unit roster that were unique from the Dwarven factions. Yes, Divide and Conquer has a full Khazad-dûm faction. Wrong colour. By the way, this panel up here, swatches, isn't on the default. It could be on the default, but that's really good to have because you can see all the recent colours you've used. That's really, really helpful when you're sort of going backwards and forwards. What are people saying? Frosty saying, finally I get to do something that lights up as fuck. Do you mean the shininess of the mithril? I'm not sure what you mean there. Enrique, the enemy is coming. Enrique are my eyes. Oh, or the dwarven, the intense shine from the dwarven units, yeah. I'm not sure about the background because it's a collaborative piece. I don't know what you think I should do because I mean, I have my specific background and Edred has his, so I might just keep it sort of plain grey or something. I don't know. Gonzalo Benedicto, this unit is an orgasm. Wait till Frosty models it, then it will be even more. No, it's a dwarfasm. Yeah. Spurdo, I've been amazed at the designs you guys have been coming up with thus far. If you're still working on certain units and how they'll look, I have a brother that's particularly keen on drawing medieval armour. Well, unfortunately, 2D, we have enough 2D artists. But Spurdo, do let him apply. Because even though we have enough, I mean, it would be good if he's really, really, if he has really good ideas and it's good stuff, then we'll let him in. Yeah, it'll be good to have another concept artist. And weapons. Okay, feel free to email me or direct me to someone who can speak if you need help with it. Spodo, give me a message on Discord, and so I know who you are on Discord, and I'll message you if I'm ever sort of burdened with I'm in a stressful time and I need someone to do something quickly. But yeah, give me a message and show me some work of his. Philip Heinrich, guys with two swords, the old version camouflage or the newer version, black and red only. The guys with two swords, I like the newer version. I think it's simpler. I think it's good to keep when you design a faction, it's good to keep a simple look for the main units. So the main units of Harad are, obviously as we know, they wear red, black, browns of sorts, and bronze. And higher tier, I might add some silver in there, some iron, some more expensive metal, and then the Muhad will be sort of quite brown and maybe some red war paint, and then Umbal will be black and silver. So it's good to establish these color things. I know, I mean, you didn't do anything wrong there to suggest that. I'm just saying that when you design a faction, it's interesting thinking through stuff like that. Gondor and fiefdoms, for example, if I could redesign them, that is sort of like an exception where you'd have a whole load of different units. Well, that's exactly what we have. A whole load of different units, each with different colours and different looks. So that's an exception to that, I'd say. But, you know, something similar for Rohan, there's several... The Westfold units all wear red. Just something, little things that help break up the roster, but keep it still in line and organised. Pope John Paul, looking good, man. Can't wait to try this unit out. Thank you, Pope. Do check out Pope's channel. Pope is a official Rise of Mordor YouTuber. He's worked with us several times on the campaign Q&A. So if you do want to, because I've seen some questions earlier about campaign, do check out the other videos on our channel. The campaign Q&As on our channel by Pope John Paul in the chat, by that, for anyone who doesn't know. Because that'll answer your questions, and also check out his channel, of course, for Rise of Mordor custom battles. Gaiska Aristondo, amazing, thank you. And Spurdo, very cool, I'd be happy to. Can I find your Discord on the ROM website? Our Discord is the first link down in the description here of the video. We don't have a Rise of Mordor website, unfortunately, as far as I know. Well, okay, we've got about 5 minutes before I have to go. But yes, so we have our main platform is Discord. We have our ModDB as well, and we do have a subreddit for those of you who aren't into that kind of stuff. Let's give him some hair. Let's go with what colour hair? Something that complements this. Dark brown, I think. Simple. Philip Heinrich. Oh, but as I was saying, our Discord is our main thing, our main platform where you'll see, you know, all our recent previews and all our announcements. So, you know, get in there, get involved with the action, become a community member. Be good to see you. Philip Heinrich. Well, brown is already a main colour besides black and red, yes, in terms of Harad. The camouflage version has a brown cloak, so it all fits. I like this newer version, but my old one is better. So, yeah, so that's in reference to the Games Workshop models. Yes. Sorry. Pablo Monzon Casado. What dwarven unit is this one? These are the Mansion Reclaimers. Apologies to anyone who who wasn't here when we were working on Harad. We were working on Harad. I'll just quickly show you all again what we were doing. For those of you who missed it, we did this central guy. These are the Harad Tier 3, which are based on the Tier 2 that we see in the film on the Mumakil, but you know, more elite looking. So that's what we did earlier in the stream. We just rounded off the stream. We're rounding off the stream now with the Mansion Reclaimers, and I'm going to stop there for now. They're very, very close to finished anyway, actually. But let me just get your questions again. But yeah, these guys are sort of Mithril Khazad-dûm units. A very, very heavily armoured dwarven unit that is available through the recapturing of Moria, Khazad-dûm. Philip Heinrich, how final are the Easterlings? Games Workshop has good references for them. I am familiar with the Games Workshop Easterlings, yeah. They are very cool. But I'm not... last time I checked, Aldur was doing the Easterlings, but I think we also have another new modeler working on the lower tiers. But I'm not... as I was saying earlier, Luke Martins did the runic concepts as well as the Harad concepts. And yeah, for addressing it again, I am redoing the Harad concepts. Those of you who are familiar with our Trello will know that Harad already has concepts, but actually we felt that they didn't quite match, you know, the movie look, so I'm redoing them. But Luke Martins did Rune as well, so I won't be redoing Rune. But so that's already been finalised with concepts. Yeah, it's saying he has no idea why he likes Khazad-dûm so much. You don't need to have an idea. Just knowing that you like them, that's all that counts. Philip sent me references for Canned and Corsairs. Thank you. Thank you very much. We don't know about Canned yet. At the moment, it's not planned as a faction, but we don't know. Fruity saying save the version without hairs. Okay, yeah, I mean that's... Oh, the beard. The beard, of course, is what you meant. Yeah, I won't do a beard for better modelling. Yeah, good point. See, with a concept, you need to make a really cool looking piece, but then you also, again, need to be able to make something that is really clear for the modeler to work from. Because if they have a massive beard in front of all this armour, the modeler has no clue what's underneath there, so it really doesn't help. Like this concept in the corner of Balin's regal armour. It's cool, but the people who designed this would have any clue about what was underneath there. You get sort of if we look at another piece, these guys were what they call Tomb Wardens. And what's the armour? This. Oh God, right here. You can't. That's all in the front, but that's a really, really good detailed breakdown of the. That's a really good breakdown of armor. But anyway, Pablo's saying, "Oh, all right, Mansion Reclaimers." Yeah, do check out our Trello for seeing all our planned unit rosters. But Fruity, yeah, have fun modelling these. I will send that over when they're finished. I'll send it over to Edred as well so he can get on with the weapons, but I'm sure you don't need them just yet. This should be more than enough for the first stream anyway. Unless you all do it in one sitting like last time, which was crazy. Joshua Brewer, how much of this do you think could be used in Warhammer? What do you mean by that? I'm not sure quite what you mean by that. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to wrap up the stream there. So it was really, really good, this one. I thank you so much for stopping by. It means a huge amount to us. Your support is really, really something. And so do look out for two things. I mean, I've got a couple of things. We have our very successful faction overviews that are coming out on our channel now. Have a look at our Gondor and our recent Mordor one. They've done incredibly well for a small channel like us. And then look out for our tournament streams. We've got our other semi-final match, and after that, finals and third place coming up. And then look out for Frusty's stream of these guys, the Mansion Reclaimers. And of course, I will continue with Harad concepts. For those of you who want to see more Harad, I will do several more streams, hopefully, of these guys and maybe some other. I might just jump around. I might continue tier 2. So I don't know. But other than that, I'm going to call it a day. So thank you very much for watching. I'll hopefully see you soon. Stay safe, everyone. And that is it for today. So good night.